And Eric, the winds are now up to 90 miles per hour. Let's turn this over to Max 1 to show you the latest that is going on with the storm. On satellite, we can see an explosion of storms near what is the developing eye, and tomorrow morning we may see that eye clear out, and that would likely indicate that we have a Category 3 hurricane. The wind speeds right now have gone up to 90 miles per hour. If it gets to 96, that's Category 2. The hurricane hunters have been flying through it over and over. They are finding it going through what's called a rapid intensification cycle, where the pressure steeply drops and the winds respond by rising. So that barometer, which at 4 o'clock was reading around 990, is now down to 978 in the center of the hurricane circulation, and the winds are responding by increasing. It's still moving on that west-northwest clip. The good news for Houston right now, greater Houston, is that we are increasing confidence that the center will be making landfall somewhere around Sabine Pass and the Texas-Louisiana border. That is a devastating hit for the Golden Triangle, southwest Louisiana, up through the piney woods of East Texas. But greater Houston looking more and more likely to dodge the severe impacts of Hurricane Laura. So we have numerous hurricane warnings, and because of the fast forward speed, those hurricane warnings extend northward past Lufkin over 150 miles inland. Now, the cone really didn't change much in terms of where they put the center of it. What has changed, though, as we get closer in time to landfall, the cone shrinks because the forecast error goes down. So if you're watching earlier, the left edge of the cone cut right through Galveston Bay. Now it's cutting right through Chambers County and over Winnie. So as we get closer in time to landfall, the confidence goes up, and a lot of the data is locking in on that landfall near the Texas-Louisiana border with wind speeds at 120 miles per hour. But given the uncertainty and intensity, this very well could rival the Harvey wind of 130, which would put it at Category 4. Now, there's that center line of the cone. As we look at the computer models, we're still seeing some of these outliers here. They're kind of onto the west or left side of the cone, which obviously has us a little bit on edge and on guard, but we're seeing a lot of the consensus congregating here at the Texas-Louisiana border. So we're going to go over to Chief Forecaster David Tillman. He's going to talk about what kind of impacts on the winds would be different versus if it went on the center part of that cone versus the left side of the cone, because the Hurricane Center always reminds us it's equal probability that center will cross along the path of that cone.
And as you said just a moment ago, Travis, if it does track along the center of the cone and moves up near the Sabine, winds won't be quite as high here in Houston, not even hurricane force, but still gusty nonetheless. So here's a look at those winds. 9 o'clock tomorrow evening, we can see tropical storm force wind gusts over a good bit of the area. Look at the eye approaching Port Arthur from the south, and look at how winds respond. There's 3 o'clock in the morning, 90 to 100 mile per hour wind gusts around Beaumont and Port Arthur, about 50 there in Houston, and look how quickly the winds begin to go down here in town, down into the 40 mile per hour range as we approach 9 a.m. What if the eye came in on the very western edge of the forecast cone of uncertainty? Well, by 12 o'clock in the morning, that Thursday morning, hurricane force winds over in the Galveston area, Pasadena as well. Same thing as we get towards 3 o'clock in the morning. Humboldt could experience hurricane force winds, near hurricane force winds in the city of Houston, not so much out to the west. And then as the system continues pulling on the way, it'll take a little bit longer for the winds to decouple because the eye would be just a little bit closer to us. So it really just depends on the exact track of this storm there, Travis, as far as who gets the highest wind.
Right, and obviously east of the center, you're going to see those extensive winds off to the east, and it drops off pretty quickly the farther west you go from the center, being on the what's so-called cleaner side of the storm. Now, one thing we have to caution you about is that sometimes we can get changes in the track because of it going through that rapid intensification cycle. So we're encouraged right now for the greater Houston region. We're just devastated for the Golden Triangle, southwest Louisiana, the piney woods. But it does look like if it goes to this rapid intensification cycle, that'll alter the steering path just a bit. So when you wake up in the morning, you see that forecast cone, we're going to have very high confidence in what it's doing. Now, this is the remnants of Marco, bringing a few little rain bands in here. We are expecting a chance of showers as we go through the day on Wednesday. Now through about 6 p.m. on Wednesday, there will be times where little rain bands come through. Otherwise, it's mostly dry. Then as we get from Wednesday 6 p.m. to Thursday 6 a.m., those will be the worst impacts locally here in southeast Texas, and we expect rapid improvements after 6 o'clock in the morning through most of our viewing region. There could still be some strong winds in our northeastern counties up toward Lake Livingston. So we're going to go a little deeper dive on all the different impacts we're expecting across the region, the surge, the rain, the winds, the potential for tornadoes. All of that will be coming up in your full forecast.